Hey Brian, okay matey, so it's never easy to make a feminine looking design when you have a really big center stone like that and you use the words I want chunky. Anything chunky with a square stone generally ends up looking very male or very masculine. So what I've done with this one for the aqua is I've brought the stone into the design. That angle there, and there is the same as the angle on the aqua. Alright, so what happens is when you move in across the ring, in this direction, in that direction, and down the other side, you get a continuation of the flow of the aqua, and then the facets downwards. So that's why you've got the sort of little facet edges happening over here. So you get a continuation of the stone, alright, which is something ladies would do and not gentlemen. So it feminizes the angles a little bit. And then what I've done to hold the stone in place is I've added a nice little knot detail that travels up from the bottom. So you have the middle grain in the shoulders, which will add a lot of sparkle. I'll show you some renders in a second. And it is a knot that comes around. So that last bead turns into a knot, feeds around itself. And then the outer claw holding it feeds through that knot and back up. I had planned to do the same thing over here to bring that through and in, but there just wasn't enough room between the belly of the stone and the ring to pull that off neatly, so I've just left it as a swirl inside there. It's a big stone, so there's a big expanse of metal on the side, so I've pulled this up on the inside over there to make the side detail look a little bit more interesting. And if you're wondering why this is square at the bottom, that's called a Euro shank. And the reasoning behind that, let me just find my mouse quickly. Alright, the reasoning behind that is because when you have a ring that's this big and chunky on the top, that creates like a little corner point there that's underneath your finger. It looks uncomfortable, but it actually isn't. When your finger's in there, this is sitting between your two fingers, and if the ring is tempted to roll, what happens is that point kicks up against the finger next door and it stops the ring from rolling around. This is especially a problem with our lady friends that like to diet a lot, because sometimes they can diet more than their knuckles, so they can have a backup finger that is maybe thinner than the front, and that's quite important in that case. And I've just reduced a bit of weight by adding a sort of feature through there, okay, because otherwise it can put quite a lot of weight on the ring, and I'm trying to keep a good balance on it. Now this is obviously a very bad rendition of it, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull up some renders. So this is the ring looking at it in a sort of top oblique, and then your edge. So the render over here obviously looks quite coarse, but when you look at it, it's actually a very pretty ring. It's for the fact that it's big and bulky, it still looks very feminine, and it's not something you can miss. It's there. Alright, so I'm going to post this video to YouTube and then also email you the two renders. Catch you later, mate. That's the one out the way. I'm going to go drink beer now. Cheers, Chris out.